At the beginning of this course, we investigated the pivotal role that literacy plays in unlocking doors to our students' future. We have seen that literacy rates, however, are relatively low nationwide, which barricades access to a variety of post-graduation options for our students who have not yet developed the skills necessary for reading. Rhode Island strives to increase these rates by developing a statewide awareness of the research behind how proficient reading occurs and the instructional practices that most align with this research. We set out to answer 3 critical questions. How do students learn to read? Why do some students struggle to understand what they read? And how can we support our striving readers in elementary, middle, and high school? Ultimately, the science of reading has informed us that, unlike oral language development, reading is not a natural process, and new neural pathways must be forged in order for proficient reading to develop. Areas of the brain used to process words, sounds, and language all must connect to develop the process of skilled reading. The journey of understanding the science of reading happens over time. However, these courses were developed to give a basic overview and to create common language around the understanding of how reading develops in an attempt to bridge the gap between research and practice. You do not need expert knowledge to begin to employ instructional methods that align with the science of reading. While investigating the theoretical frameworks of reading, we found that, simply put, reading requires proficient ability to read the words on the page, called decoding, and to understand the meaning of those words that have been read, or language comprehension. By looking at Hollis Scarborough's reading rope, we found that these processes are complicated and require a variety of subskills to be taught and practiced to automaticity in order for comprehension to occur. We also studied the quadrant model, derived from the simple view of reading, to understand that students' reading ability exists on a continuum of good to poor decoding ability and good to poor language comprehension ability. This is an important consideration for instruction and helps to better pinpoint the struggles your students may be having in the classroom. We learned that explicit and systematic instruction in the subskills of literacy is the most reliable path to develop proficient reading. This can be done by using a structured literacy approach across grade levels and content areas. We also learned of typical literacy practices that research has shown can interfere with the process of acquiring skilled reading and may have lasting consequences on decoding, spelling, grammar, and ultimately comprehension. We learned that explicit, systematic instruction in structured literacy across all tiers of instruction is beneficial for all students and essential for most. Educators and specialists who work with elementary-age students should consider an all-hands-on-deck approach to building these pertinent skills that result in accurate decoding and comprehension of text. Teachers working with students in older grades must still consider which of these skills require further attention and practice in order to best prepare our students to succeed academically and beyond graduation. Printing and referring to frameworks derived from the science of reading, including the simple view of reading and Scarborough's reading rope, can be helpful to reference in your classroom to inform instruction and to understand the needs of our students across grade levels. In the next courses, we will return to these frameworks to dive deeper into elements of decoding and language comprehension, and offer guidance and resources to use within your setting to support proficient literacy throughout all grades and content areas. Thank you for the key role you play in developing a statewide awareness of the science of reading and structured literacy.